What's up? What's up? I'm sorry about we're late, guys. Somebody was just using the room right before us. But I don't know. I came into this room and there's this wild hat here. So I'm like, what is up with this? I don't know if it's like Zorro, if Zorro was a Zumba instructor or something. I don't know what that is. Anyways, welcome. I got my partner in crime back here, Matt. He was going to be gone for a week, but he couldn't stay away from us. So he's like, okay, I got to come back to get on the AMAs.
Missed this too much. Good to be back.
Welcome back. Thank you. Hello to everybody out here. We are in for a cool episode today. I hope, I just came in here. I hope everything's working on this computer. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up. We're going to be going over a tool that had a complete redesign today. So that's kind of cool. But before I begin, as always, we always have at least 10, 15 new people on here. So they don't know what Helium 10 is. And Matt, give them a quick rundown on what Helium 10 is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Helium 10 is an all-in-one tool suite. We've got over 20 tools now. We're the most reliable, most accurate, and by far the best value. Everything from product research to keyword research to listing optimization, competitor spying, giveaway units to launch to page one, hijacker alerts, keyword tracking, profits, our new financial analytics tool, refunds, and I think I hit it all, everything in between. To learn more, visit helium10.com, or to download the extension, go to helium10.com/extension.
All right. Thank you very much. Make sure to stay till the end, guys. Well, we're going to try and, we don't have it yet, but Matt just sent out a message to try and get you guys a special code for us. So for those of you, if you are new and you're on the free package and you want to be able to try out the full package at, big discount, we're going to try and get that code for you available by the end of the episode. So if you're watching live or if you're watching on the replay in the next 24 hours, please make sure to wait until the end of the episode. Let me just give some shout outs here for everybody who's come on. Lindsay's here. Ida, hello. Kevin. John, this is the earliest you've come on, or maybe it's just because we're late. That's why it seems like you're early.
Thanks, John.
Our teammate submitted the URL for the questions. So if you guys have questions right now, just put them right here. But if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to bookmark this question page. That's where you can answer or ask your questions when we're not live. But since we're live and you guys are all here, you can just ask right here in the comment section. Always want to know, where you guys from? We had Algeria recently, Caribbean island. On Tuesday we had it was either Hungary or Romania we had. So every time we have a new places. We got Martha from Massachusetts today. Hello, how's it going? We've got Lilgu. I love the name. Look at that. And the nice little profile picture. Awesome. Paul says, hi guys, how's it going, Paul? Good to have you back. All right, so we have a cool announcement of a tool that's being redesigned. Functionality wise, there's nothing different. So I do not have anything prepared today since we literally just got here. So we're going to be doing all this live. So I hope everything works here. Here we go. Let me share my screen. All right. I just cut my face off. There we go. All right. So now we've got this screen. We are right in the right place here. Okay. Does anybody, first of all, know what just got a redesign? Like maybe you guys in the last 12 hours have been playing around with the Helium 10 suite. Does anybody see what's different here?
I'll give you a hint. It's got a little bit of a new name, more straightforward.
Yeah, a new name, a new kind of little icon. Ooh, and yeah, of course, John would get it. And Kowloon right now, look at this. Now this is dedication. Check this out, Matt. Kowloon right now is at Disneyland.
Wow.
At Hong Kong Disneyland, but I don't know. He or she must be on their phone. They must be on their phone, tuning in while they're coming down on Space Mountain. So that's some dedication there. Thank you, Kowloon. PJ Smith said transfer. No, transfer is still the same. John got it. The answer is 5K checker. Actually, there is no more 5K checker. It is now called index checker. All right. Now, guys, just so that you know, nothing functionality-wise has changed with 5K checker. It's been the same for quite a while now, where we're checking multiple indexes because months and months and months ago, Manny Coates, discovered and posted in the Facebook group about how, you don't even have to anymore have a word in your listing to actually show up in the organic results. So technically your index. So that's kind of like what, can be called the PPC or advertising index, or, a lot of people have different names for it, but It's separate though. In other words, in the past you pretty much figured, hey, if I type in ASIN plus a keyword and it doesn't show up, that must mean I'm not indexed. Well, that's not the case anymore, and I'm going to show you how Helium 10 is going to show you that data. And again, nothing has changed. It's just now we have a new column so that you can see kind of like what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm going to give you an example real quick of how I discovered this other index, months ago myself. So I was looking, one of my other things I like to search for is lipozine. We do collagen peptides or lipozine diet pills. And I was just browsing through. I was like looking here. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's all lipozine products, cool. And there's some sponsored ads for some other ones, whatever. But then once I started going to the last page, I can't even speak today, 73 through 90. Let me see here. Look at this. This thing has nothing to do with lipozine, in my opinion, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is not a lipozine product. This is by Limitrix, right? All right. So let me just visually, I'm going to do a control F and I'm going to see, does the word lipozine actually come in here? So there it is. And then only it's coming up in the sponsored ads. There's nothing that's in his description or bullet points or anything that have lipozine. So then I figured, how is this guy how is this guy having a brand name lipozine inside of his listing, maybe in the back end? I've always heard that we're not supposed to do that. I actually opened up a case with Amazon. I said, Amazon, what's going on here? How come you let Limitrix have lipozine in their back end? They said, nope, we're sorry. Lipozine is not in the back end. And I was like, what is going on? How can he come up organically? That search result, guys, was an organic search result. All right. So then I was like, are you sure it's not in the back end? So this is the way that you check if a word is in somebody's listing. I went to their storefront, went over here, and I'm like, okay, let me go to their storefront. And maybe some of them, they have lipozine, but does that one come up? Type lipozine, nothing. There is not one listing in their entire store that has the word lipozine. I was like, wow, Amazon seller support was correct. So what did I do next? Well, I did some research and I saw that, also I saw that post by Manny. This was a long time ago. I was like, oh, you don't have to have the word in your listing. But I'm like, how in the world, that process that I just made, there's one more process. There's one more step I did, which was, let me show you the traditional way, right? This is the ASIN. Where's the ASIN? Right here. Here's the ASIN, right? So I'm going to do ASIN plus keywords. So I'm going to type in this ASIN plus lipozine. I mean, it's showing up in the organic searches. It's got to be there, right? And watch what happens when I do this. 0 results. We found 0 results. So all 3 of those ways I did a search for. And then there was another one that I did. And I'm about to show you that right now if I can figure out how to find that ASIN or how to find this. Let me look in my Skype real quick. For those who don't know, while I'm looking this up, this link, Matt, could you just give everybody what different people think indexing even is? Like we're saying indexing here like it's some common term, but if there's a new seller here, they might have no idea what's an index.
Yeah, so the real basic, I guess, term in the way that we know indexing or used to know it is the fact that Amazon recognizes that term in your listing. So if you have the term in your listing, we would used to run 5K checker, and there's a number of other tools that kind of mimic the process. Out, no sound.
Can you guys hear us now? All right, I think we're back now. All right. I was just saying, I'm not sure how much you just saw. Dan and Renee said they couldn't see us. All right. So I'm telling you, these computers are crazy these days. All right. So as I was saying, that whole process that I just did took a long time, and it's not feasible to take 5 minutes for one keyword for one listing to see if it was indexed. And actually everything I just saw said it wasn't indexed, right? So a while back, 5K Checker, which is what we used to call it, started incorporating multiple searches. So I'm going to show you what we did. This is the ASIN right here. Okay. Now to find their seller ID, if you guys don't know how to find the seller ID of this seller, you click here. And then right here on the top, right even before you get to their storefront, there's this thing that says seller equals right here. All right. So you just double click on that, copy it. Everybody with me so far? Okay, good. And then now let's go right here. Okay. And now I'm going to type in one word that I know is indexed for everything. Like, let's say, it looks like the product is called melt. Okay. And now the word that I was looking up right now, which is lipazine. Okay. So watch this, guys. I'm going to hit check keywords. Now it's checking it all out. All right, here we go. So this is what we have now for index checker. With the word melt in the traditional index, and it says traditional ASIN plus keyword test. That was the one I did. Melt, it comes up. What does that mean? By the way, guys, in the future, you're going to be able to click this right here, and it's going to actually take you to the link so you can actually do it. Right now, it's not available. It's probably going to be available in the next 24 hours, but you'll actually be able to click right here and be able to see the actual URL that it's doing, I believe. If that's not happening, please erase that from your memory that Bradley promised you that, all right? All right, so I'm going to do this plus keyword, melt, right? And it comes up, all right? So that's basically saying that, hey, if you type in the ASIN plus the keyword, which is the traditional way, yes, it comes up. The field ASIN, that's another one that it's a really long URL, and I just can't find the actual link. But this is a different kind of test so that you could see, does it come up or not? This one says yes. The storefront index, that is that when I went to their storefront and checked it. So everything was yes on there for melt, all right? Makes sense. Now, take a look at here. Lipazine, traditional index, all right? So lipazine traditional index, which is ASIN plus keyword, we did that and it says, no, it is not indexed. Storefront index, it says no, and we did that, it's not indexed. But for this field ASIN test, it comes up as yes. And the reason why, so if you see something that's not in the traditional and not on the storefront and it's here, 9 times out of 10, if not 100%, I still have not found one, out of the hundreds I've tried, I have not found one that is not indicative of this. This means that you're what's on call like the advertising index. How do you get on the advertising index? You cannot force it. I actually did a test. I had some listing that was kind of in the diet category, not my own product. I just kind of like piggybacked on it. Don't worry, I wasn't selling any, but I just wanted to play around. And then I tried to see if I could force something in the back end, didn't work. So then I contacted one of my friends who actually had another diet product that was similar to lipazine. I was like, hey, you've got the buy box in this. Can you run some exact phrase search matches in PPC for the word lipazine? So they did it. They even threw like a crazy amount, like $8. I was like, can we force ourselves on that PPC index? The answer so far is no. I heard that you used to be able to do it, but for that one, it didn't work. So I called Amazon. I was like, Amazon, how in the world can these other guys be showing up organically for this keyword? That's a brand name. It's not on their listing. They said, well, buyer history tells us that it's relevant to them because there have been purchases. People who have searched for lipazine have actually purchased it. Well, guess what, guys? That means that at some point there was PPC, and I actually tracked down, the owner of this company, and he said, yeah, there was. I did run PPC. I could not do it directly to lipazine, but what he did was he had auto campaigns going. He had some broad campaigns going. So, for example, I didn't ask specifically, but he probably put like diet pills or something, right? But then if you put broad or phrase, what might happen with lipazine, Matt?
Right, it's going to pull in lipazine, which is a like term.
Yeah, Amazon could just throw that. So if you let Amazon do it, they'll do it for you. They won't let you do it. But if you say, hey, let me do an auto campaign, Amazon, you throw out this keyword to whatever you want, or let me do a broad or phrase, and you guys, complete the sentence. Amazon very well might start throwing your ad on other brand name keywords. And that was really interesting to me. So guys, there you have it. In the past, you might not have known which index you were on. You just knew, 5K checker would just tell you yes or no, it was indexed. It was still doing all these things in the back end, but it would just say yes or no. But now you guys have this visibility for the 3 different ones. And right now this is available. Somebody was saying it wasn't working in the UK. I believe if you want it to work for if you're in the UK, but you're checking the US, you have to, make sure your ship to address is a US address, in your buyer account on Amazon if you're logged into Amazon. So guys, if there's any questions about Index Checker right now or how to use it, please let us know below. Meanwhile, we're just going to go ahead and get into some of the questions here, but very excited that you guys now have this visibility. And again, what the most important thing, I'm sorry. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? So why would you care, Matt, if here I'm indexed for this? What good does that do me?
Right. It does you no good unless you know that you're indexed for that keyword and you can rank for it thereafter. If you're not indexed, you might want to move the keywords around in your listing to make sure that you can rank, because indexing doesn't have the same relationship to rank that it once used to. So we've got these 4 different fields here to provide you, I guess, a little more clarity into the method that you're indexing for. And we show that.
Yeah. And you could think that, hey, I don't even have this word in my listing, but I'm just curious. Am I showing up in the PPC index? Or what if you're going to do a storefront URL, right? You want to do a giveaway using the CPR method and you still want to use a storefront URL. Well, if you're not indexed in the storefront index, you can't use a storefront URL. So that's why that's important as well. So I hope you guys can find some use about for this. Let's see. John has an interesting question that would merit some testing. He said, I wonder if frequently bought together helps with this to happen. I have not seen one like that, because frequently bought together is not keyword based usually. Now if Amazon is taking it a step forward and saying, hey, somebody bought this product searching for lipazine, and then they bought this melt product like right after that, so that all of a sudden it's frequently bought together, maybe, I don't know. But if you guys ever see one that there has never been a PPC sent or click or impression spent on it, and you're somehow coming up on that field ASIN index, please let us know. I'd be very curious about that. So thank you for that, John. All right, let's go ahead and let me see if I can fix my screen here so we can get into some questions. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's not working. There we go. All right, here's an old question here from Don. So sorry that it took us a while to get to this, Don. Don Shoemaker says, assuming we now have ranked on page 1 by using the CPR method, what are some best practices to stay there? So how do we stay on page 1, Matt?
Yeah, thanks for your question, Don. Once you, I guess, rank on page 1 and your product has stuck there, that's awesome. But you have to do a couple additional things to make sure you stick, because one thing we see pretty frequent is that folks will get to page 1 and quickly fall off, and they'll say, oh, my launcher didn't work, right? But there's a number of different things that you can do to stick there. Do you want to paste? Are you able to paste that question up? Or is it a little long?
It's too long, yeah.
So, Don, there's a number of things you can do. One, you want to make sure your price is dialed in. So if during your launch you had a lower price, you want to make sure you increase that gradually. Because if you increase it too fast, Amazon will probably take the buy box away from you, and it just makes life a whole lot harder. So I'd say gradually increase your price. If you lowered it, make sure your entire listing is just completely dialed in. So how does it look in comparison to the other top sellers? And that's everything from the photos to keywords and on down to price. So yeah, I would just make sure your listing is completely dialed in and competes really well against everyone else on page 1. And lastly, get reviews, right? Because if you're on page 1 with 1 or 2 reviews and everyone else has a couple hundred or even a few thousand, it's going to look a little funky to the folks who are looking to buy your product. So I would put a real strong hustle into getting those reviews as quick as you can and make sure your listing is dialed in.
All right. So thank you for that question. That was Don. Now we go from Don to Dan right here. just a generic, not necessarily Helium 10 related, but it could be, the application could be, the answer could be Helium 10 related. Dan says 1 month ago, organic sales were about 20 per day and now have dropped to about 1 or 2 per day. WWBD, what would Bradley do? Let's see. All right, Dan, thank you for the question. So for me, what I would think might have happened is that you lost a highly converting keyword rank on it. As we know, if you're not sending outside traffic to your listing, right? If you're not sending outside traffic, that means almost all of your sales are coming either from PPC, which I'm assuming you would obviously know if your PPC is doing bad or not. Otherwise, you might not have asked that question. So I'm assuming that your PPC, was doing whatever it's always been doing. So that would leave the organic, results. If you're, what I would do, I'm hoping, and I hope all of you guys do it. You guys need to be making sure that you are using Keyword Tracker to track all of your top important keywords. Like here, I only have one, but like, let's say this is your list. You would never want to just track 2 keywords. This was just something I did for a demo, but you should have like a list of 20, 30, 40 keywords here that you found as hyper relevant by using Cerebro compare ASIN tool, which I'll get into next Tuesday. I wanted to do that today, but we'll repeat that on Tuesday because we're short on time here. But you should be always tracking all of the keywords that your competitors who are exactly like you are on page 1 for. And then maybe you got on page 1 now for one of those keywords. Oh, great. And now you're getting 20 organic sales because you're on page 1. Well, if you fall off, I would immediately go here and I'd be checking, hey, I know this one right here. I'm always, rank number 6, right? And I'm getting 10 a day. But then all of a sudden I get 1 sale a day. Well, what might have happened is this rank right here is, for some reason from Amazon, is all the way down here. As you can see, sometimes Amazon does crazy things with the rankings the last couple of months. It's kind of leveled off for a lot of the ones I'm tracking. You can see how it's leveled off, but look what was happening late last month. Part of the day it's 20, and then like later on you're at 92. Well, yeah, you might pick up a couple of sales when you're at 20. You're going to get 0 sales if you're at position 90, all right? So that could very well be what's happening. So you have got to make sure that you are ranking. Now, here's the thing that it kind of ties in with what I was working, what I was talking about before. Let's say it went from like rank number 6 to not in 306 at all. What could that mean? They just got, what could have happened? They're D. Can anybody out there finish that sentence? They are D what? What did Amazon do? I bet you John knows what I'm talking about. They went from rank 6 for one keyword, and now they're not ranked at all. I don't know how this messaging thing is kind of
must be a little lag
kind of a little lag. So I know he knows. He got it. D index. Exactly. So D index, if you could be D index, how do you know if you're D index? Whoa, we've got index checker. So all you would do is you would put in your ASIN, put in the words, and then if you're not indexed, you got to see what's going on. Did another seller go in your listing and take out a keyword? Or if not, Amazon did something. You might need to open up a case, say, Amazon, why do I not show up in this search anymore when this is in my title or this is in my bullet point? Maybe you have to re-index it by maybe putting some context around it, putting it multiple times in your listing. But if it's in your bullet points, if it's in your description, if it's in your title and you're not, keyword spamming where you have 1,000 keywords, or it's not a word that's forbidden, like a sexual word or a drug related word, you should be indexed, so there's something wrong. So Dan, was that Dan? Yeah, Dan, that's probably what that's kind of the thought process that I would use. All right, let us keep going here. Ashton from Idaho, hello, welcome. All right, let's keep going for another question. Right here, Troy says, I can copy this one. Troy says, when will you guys have a mobile app for Helium 10? What do you think, Matt?
Troy, thanks for your question. Just like anything else, keep the recommendations coming. No plans at the moment, but if it's something that a lot of you would use, we'll of course consider it. And if you find it helpful, we'll for sure add that to the roadmap or send that off to the dev team. All
right, we've got about 50 viewers live right now, and by the end of this broadcast, there should be like one, or the end of this replays, we should have over 1,000. So whether you're watching on the live or on the replay, I would like to just put that question out there. Would you guys be interested in a mobile app, or that really, you can't picture yourself doing keyword research or or tracking your sales, with profits or something on a mobile app. Let us know who. I'm just curious, who'd want that. At the same time, there's some things we need to talk about. Usually, you have your list of our itinerary. Have we mentioned the affiliate program?
Tell them about it.
Yeah, talk to us, Matt, about the affiliate program. How somebody can pay for their Helium 10 membership just by spreading the word.
Yeah, real quick. There's a few new viewers in here. So for you guys, if you like the Helium 10 tools, we've got an affiliate program. It's not something that we push super hard. You won't see a ton of people out there pushing the tools that they don't use. But if you're here, there's a great chance you use them and you believe in the tools. So if you go to crushit.online, you can apply to become an affiliate and spread the good word about Helium 10. Michelle, our affiliate manager, will field your application, get you up and running. And it's a great way, like Bradley mentioned, to pay for your entire Helium 10 yearly membership. So you get a few folks that sign up under your affiliate link, and voila, you have your Helium 10 paid for.
Did you give them the link or the URL?
Yeah, again, crushit.online.
All right. So Gabby will put it there. She goes right there. There it is. There's the link for that. And I'm actually, if those who get on that, you can have direct access, to me. I'll be helping you guys with that. I just joined helping out that team so that we can really make sure we get the best education out there. So make sure to sign up today. All right. A couple of people have been replying. Ashton says mobile app would be cool for alerts on the go. Cool. John doesn't like mobile app. Personally, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would use it or not. I when I was doing a lot of Amazon stuff, I actually never used the Amazon mobile app or the seller app. Yuri just uses the Chrome extension on his laptop or desktop only. Yuri, good to see you again, by the way. Sean says yes on the mobile app. All right. PJ was very concerned. 3 question marks. You said another seller could go into my listing and take the keyword out. Unfortunately, I've seen that happen before. All right. Especially if you do not have brand registry, somebody could just, start listing your product, right? And they would go in there. They can change all the images. They can change, the bullet points. They can change everything on there if they get an Amazon rep to do it. And it sucks. So the only way to know if that happens, obviously, if they're changing everything, you would know right away. But sometimes they might try and really mess you over and just like take out 1 or 2 keywords. And that's terrible. If any of you guys do that, shame on you. Never do that, guys.
I wouldn't worry about that stuff, though. There's a lot of negative things that can happen on Amazon as a seller to you, but I wouldn't let that negative stuff, paralyze you. There's so many folks I guess if you're watching this on Facebook who get just paralyzed. Like, I heard that this could happen and this and this. So I would just keep the pedal to the metal and keep going. And if something like that happens, I would just deal with it as it comes.
Exactly. All right. So here is a question from Elon. He or she says, what is the best niche to enter in today? And how can I use Helium 10 to find it? Well, there is no quote unquote right answer for that. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands of niches that have opportunity on Amazon. Just think about how many products are added a day. And these aren't sellers who are just, throwing a dart and seeing what sticks. They probably have been using Helium 10 black box to find these niches. And so real quick, in 30 seconds or less, 1 minute or less, the way to look using black box, like you can go, I always pick the baby category. Let me do something else. Health and personal care, right? You can go, you say, hey, I want to see what's selling at least $10,000 a month. It only has maybe 200 reviews, so it's kind of new and people hate it. So it has a maximum of 3.5 reviews or stars for the reviews. Maybe their listing sucks. They only got 1, 2, 3, or 4 images. And let me see, is there any product like that out there? So now this shows there's 7 products. And so then what I would do is I would look here and just see if anything sticks out to me. I see what they did there. That's not Rogaine. That's that's Regain, which actually makes sense. Regain, regain your hair. There's a lot of this stuff, might be, brand names, Dyson, right? But basically I would be looking for products like, let me look at this, a vape pen. You can sell vape pens on Amazon.
I don't know.
What in the world? Look, I'm in the UK. No wonder why this did that. I guess you can sell vape pens in the UK. All right, guys.
It's also in health and personal care, and I don't know how healthy of a product that is, but
all right. By the way, guys, that just shows you right there. Black box works in the UK. If you didn't know, let me do this search again. Now in the US, I don't think vape pens are allowed on Amazon USA. So minimum $10,000, right? Review count maximum of 200, and these are not set in stone. This is just my suggested one, right? So all of a sudden now there's a rush to sell vape pens in Amazon UK. Let's take a look here. So it's searching. How many products are in our database?
A lot. Over 450 million. So
Over 450 million. It's crazy.
We've got the largest database outside of Amazon. So a ton of products. And while this is coming up,
yep, it's searching all of these products, right? And look, it found over 200 that fit that description. So for example, let me look here at this. All right. So this is Estro. What does it say? Estro Factors. All right. It only has 3.5 stars, only 22 reviews, one image. This image sucks. And it was selling a lot. It's selling on $10,000 a month. So that's how you might find it. So like, what is this? Okay. Healthy estrogen balance. So then maybe I'll go here and I'll be like estrogen. What comes up? Estrogen cream, estrogen pills for women. Maybe that's what this is. So I look here and then I'll look at the competition and see what's going on here. But you can kind of see, this is a process that should take hours, because you want to really do a detailed search. But just there in a few seconds, that's my process. I look in Black Box and then I check out that product that seems to be selling well, even though the listing sucks and people hate it. And then I'll go ahead and check the market as a whole. All right. So thank you for that question. Who was it? That was Elon. All right. Let's see. Oh, since we're in Black Box, Rich had another question for Black Box. What is the best technique to search for a low BSR for a name brand product? Well, you can do that, right here in Black Box. A lot of people don't want name brands, but maybe you're in wholesale maybe you're in wholesale. You just got a list of all these big brands, right, that you can possibly sell. And you want to say, hey, I have a good price on Gerber baby products. So I'm going to go to baby. Let me reset all of this. Clear filters. All right. I'm going to go to the baby category and the brand is Gerber. So I'm going to look at Gerber. And he said, what did he say? He said, let me see if I can copy this here. Low BSR. So low BSR, I would go here. Bestseller rank, a maximum of just say 25,000. All right. So that would be the first search. And, there's probably a lot of products that will come up. Okay, 52. So here's all the Gerber products that have a pretty nice BSR. Look, everything better than 50,000 or whatever I had put. So there. So what you can do now, if you have this wholesale list, you can go and compare all these Gerber ones and see what's your cost compared to what they're selling it for. And then you instantly can check your profitability on this. How can I do that, Matt? How can I see it within 20 seconds if I can be profitable selling this Gerber product?
So you clicked into the listing already. I would go into X-ray in the Chrome extension and up top, or profitability calculator as well.
Yep.
Oh, for the profitability. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. So I'll go into X-ray to see how much the product is selling, to see how profitable the product is or the niche is. I would go into the profitability calculator and play around with, I guess, the different numbers there and see what your margin would be.
Yeah. For this, it would be easy because your cost. Maybe you're looking at a wholesale list and say, hey, my cost, is that the retail? That's the retail. My cost is $1.50 for this product. And it costs me, say 50. Does that work? No, let's do 45. Say there. Let's say it cost me $25 per pound to get it to Amazon. Boom, I make 52 cents a piece. You know what? I'm going to pass on this. But anyways, that's real quick. Who was that? That was Rich. That is how I would do that for brand name products. So thank you for that question, Rich. Let us see. Not our Yuri who's on here, but Yori, Youri, says, is Cerebro keywords updated daily? Matt, can you answer that?
Yes, the keywords in Cerebro are updated very frequently. Some of the keywords daily, other keywords not so much. We, I guess, weight them more based on search volume. So if volume is more high on a keyword, there's a good chance that we check the keyword more often. A great way to find out when the keyword was last checked is the far right column that says age. So it's going to let you know that it was checked within the last 7 to 30 days, outside of 30 days, so on and so forth. So hope that answers your question, Yuri.
All right. Thank you very much, Yuri, for that. All right. Let me look over here. By the way, guys, if you guys have not, speaking of, Cerebro and CPR and giveaways and product launches, there is a really amazing podcast that Manny just released on the AM/PM podcast. We'll try and post a link below. That's all about launches. What's working? What's not working? Is it against terms of service? Really cool podcast. John or anybody else, have you guys had a chance to watch that podcast? It's kind of long. It's an hour and a half. So if you have a drive, it'd be perfect to load on your iPod or iPhone and listen to that broadcast if you're curious about what are the trends in launching products. So let me know who's actually seen that. Maybe nobody has seen it on here, but we'll post that link. John says that was an awesome podcast. All right.
I thought it was really cool. We got some of the big guns in the launch game in the same room, in the same podcast, at least the same podcast room, and asked them some tough questions. Bradley and Manny did not go light on them, and they gave some really awesome answers. So there's just constantly a ton of questions and confusion in the Facebook groups. Do launches work? Does 90% off discounts? Are they still getting the best results like they were before? So you can get all those questions answered in the podcast, and hopefully Gabby can post up the link for you guys. If not, we'll do that after the show. Really, really awesome podcast, and definitely worth checking out.
All right. The reason why I just remembered that is because I'm looking here at the next question here. It was from David, and he was saying, hey, regarding the CPR ranking method, a lot of sellers are saying that, two-step URLs don't work and they're being penalized. And he had a really long question here. I can't post it all, but David Bitterman, I highly recommend checking out that podcast. That literally answers every one of your 75 questions that you put in this one post right here. But I love it, guys. Give us these long questions, and we'll get to it. Let me see. We had I thought I saw something come in here. Here we go. PJ says, so I'm using the index checker. I noticed that my main keywords are all being indexed, but not indexed for the storefront. PJ, I think you might be doing it wrong. So Matt, remind me to help her out, with that after the broadcast. You have to really make sure. Let me just really briefly show you. I think you're probably putting the wrong seller ID for the storefront. So again, this is how you do it real quick. If you go here, this is your listing. Let's just say, PJ, you click on your store name right here. And on this page, what you're putting there is this right here, seller equals. All right. Seller equals. And you just double click right here. That's what you have to put. But if you're on the other indexes, most likely you should be on the storefront index as well. You might just not be putting the correct code right there. So let me know if that doesn't work, PJ. And then if not, Matt or myself will check it out here if you make a comment afterwards. We have a code. Here's another question that reminded me of something else. Teresa was pretty upset with us, Matt. Uh-oh. Teresa's like, this was episode 21. She's like, you guys said that the promo code was peptides1. And I tried it, the next day, and it didn't work. All right. So guys, remember this: every time we give a code, we're not. My initials, Bradley Sutton, might be BS, but we're not giving you BS. All right. When we say that it's only a 24-hour code, it's only a 24-hour code. So anytime you try and use it after that, it's not going to work, guys. So the code today, it's going to be good for only 24 hours, and it's going to give you 50% off. 50% off your first month, right? Your first month of Helium 10, either diamond or platinum. So that could be actually worth up to $150 if you think about it, right? So I really suggest those of you who are on a free account or not on an account at all, it's kind of limiting what you can do. Like a lot of the stuff that we did today, you can't do on the free account. So I think it's going to be 24 hours. Sometimes they turn off the code like right after the broadcast. That could have been what happened with Teresa. They only had it on for a couple hours. So guys, if you want to take advantage of this code, make sure to do it like right now or right after this broadcast. What is the code today, Matt?
Crazy Hat 11, all caps. Bradley was wearing a crazy hat at the beginning of the podcast.
11.
So that's what we went with. There it is.
All right. How crazy is this hat on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, it's 11 on a scale of 1 to 10. All right. and I have a humongous head, and that's why this hat looks even more ridiculous. Like I bet if Matt put it on, it'd look normal, but it doesn't even fit over my fro here. Look at this. All right. Anyways, Crazy Hat 11, guys. 50% off. Gabby, if you can put yeah, thank you very much, Gabby. 50% off your first month. There we go. 24 hours only. Crazy Hat. But again, I cannot guarantee that's going to be 24 hours because it's 24 hours from whenever they started that code. So if they started like in the morning or something, that means it might go off a lot sooner than tomorrow. So if you're watching us on the replay, go ahead and give it a try, or cross your fingers that we might have one on the next one. But if you're on this broadcast live, I would say just go ahead and take advantage of this right now. All right, one or two more questions here. John says, wait, first of all, John says, give the hat to Matt. So everybody wants to see John with the
all right, John, just for you.
Look, how come it looks good on him? How come it looks good on him? What's going on?
Look at that. John, just
look at that.
You.
It fits him perfectly. I told you my head is too big. Oh my goodness, that's so irritating.
It actually fits pretty well.
All right. Let me see here. Right, any more questions? Brother? Let's see. Give me
a few more.
All right. Let's do two more. Here we go. Real easy one. This is from PJ. I don't know if we answered this last one, PJ, but PJ, who's on today, on the last episode, had asked, how can they get more information about new members, even though they're not a new member? They would love to see a demo going from start to finish using all the tools. They've been getting our live broadcasts, PJ says, 2 times a week, but just don't know how to use everything to the full. So what can PJ do in order to kind of just have like a deep dive into the tools?
Yeah, thanks, PJ. We've got, of course, the Learn videos inside each tool in the Helium 10 dashboard. But on the main page, if you click the top left on Helium 10, we've got a video that's about, I think, 15, maybe 21 minutes, if I'm thinking of the right one, and that goes over the entire suite and how to use the tools together. I actually think Bradley has on his schedule to film a new video, so you should see a new one up there probably in the next week.
I actually already gave it to you, Matt. How come you haven't?
Okay, that's on me.
How come you didn't put it up, Matt? What's going on?
So PJ, you will see a new video up there pretty soon, but that's the place I would go to learn how to use all the tools together.
All right, thank you very much for that, PJ, and thank you for coming on every episode. I've noticed you've been on every episode later. One more question, Matt. From Wendy, I am a totally new user. Where's the best place to start using Helium 10 tools? So maybe somebody's just watching for the first time, like Wendy. They signed up for this really cool discount right there, and we have 20 tools. They might be overwhelmed. What's a logical way of how they can start other than just watching this first video? But definitely watch the video,
right? But
right before there, they should install something probably on their Chrome, right?
And that's exactly where I would start. So I would install the Helium 10 Chrome extension. If you haven't done that already, go to helium10.com/extension. And from there, was it Wendy? Wendy, I would just dive right into product research on Amazon. You can click the Chrome extension. For me, it's addicting like a million times a day. And just dive into product categories and start searching. See what markets that you think you could possibly get into, and just by constantly being in the product research and doing, you're going to get a really good feel for what's a good product in a good market and what's not. And anything outside of that, I would definitely hop on our AMAs and ask questions, and we'd be happy to help. Post in the Facebook group as well. There's tons of users and folks like John, who's awesome. PJ's in there as well, and a ton of people, Manny and Bradley, myself, who are all super happy to help you out. So I would just dive right into product research with X-Ray. And if you need help getting any ideas, let's see, Bradley's still on the page. I would dive into Black Box right here and enter in some search criteria that would help you, that would fit your business, right? Because maybe you don't have $100,000 to jump into the supplement category. So you would start your product research in a different way than those folks would. So Black Box and X-Ray, and I would dive headfirst and go right for it.
All right. So thank you for that question, Wendy. All right. Before I get to the very last question of the day, one quick thing I want to do before, since there's a little bit of a lag here. We got about 50 viewers right now. Let me know how you found out about today's broadcast, because you're on live. You sound like you're watching this on the replay. For those of you on the replay, same question though, but especially for those of you live, did you find out about it just by looking on the Facebook group and you saw it pinned at the top, and then you hit get reminder or something? Did you B, get a message in your messenger, like Facebook Messenger? C, did a little pop-up window come up, a push notification come up, somehow when you're using Chrome? Or is there any other way that they might have? If there's any other way that you found out about this, that there was an airplane that had a big banner to say join AMA. I don't know, whatever. Please let us know how you found out about it, because we're just curious. Some days we have so many live viewers, and some days not. So I think there's something about how we're getting the message out, and we want to hone it in to make sure you guys don't miss it, because it's always fun when you're on live. We got crazy hats, we got crazy mat, we got a lot of stuff going on. All right, everybody's saying Messenger so far. Yuri has the notifications. Okay, low. Wow. Bebe says Facebook. Scott says Facebook. John has a reminder on his phone. He's diehard, of course. So, John, if you have a reminder on your phone, then how come you're late every time? That's my question for you. All right. Oh, he got burned. PJ, Messenger. Lindsay, a reminder on notifications. Dan, Messenger. Okay. All right. Now, Dan says,
you had a good question. I like
here.
that.
My Helium 10 extension does not have profitability, inventory level, or review downloader. What am I doing wrong? So, Dan, are you on a are those available on the free account?
On the free account, they should be there. They might be grayed out depending on what page you're on, Dan. But one thing I would make sure to do is, Bradley, if you want to open up the extension, make sure you're using the right version. If you're using anything but 4.0.1, there's a good chance that those won't be in there yet. So if that's the case, I would uninstall the extension, reinstall it, and you should be able to use it. If not, go to support@helium10.com, send in a support ticket, and they'll help you from there.
And then make sure that you're on the right page. Like here, I'm on a product page right now. So yeah, I can go ahead and get to review downloader, inventory level, profitability calculator, right? But like, let's say, I had just typed in Echo, right? And now I'm here on a results page, and I try and go here. Well, it doesn't know which one. Helium 10 is the most amazing tool on the planet, but it does not have psychic powers yet. So it doesn't know that, hey, you want to look at this. So that's why profitability, inventory, and review are grayed out on this page. So hope that helped, Dan. Let's see what else we have here. Everybody's still saying Messenger. Wow. Messenger is the key here. Let's see. Kate says it was at the top of her news feed. All right. Thank you guys for getting all that. All right. Yeah. Dan says he's not the free, he's on the diamond. So Dan, just make sure you're on the right page. And if you are on a product page, not on this page, but if you're on a product page and those things are grayed out and you have 4.0.1, absolutely contact our customer support. I think we have people there 24 hours almost. Yeah, we have people there 24 hours a day on customer support. So make sure to get there and they'll be able to help you out. All right, guys. One last question of the day from Claudio or Claudiu, Claudiu. How do I know my competitors' rank strategies? Very interesting. Let me put that here. All right, so this is my answer to this. So I honestly would say, don't worry about their rank strategies. All right, what matters is their strategy could be garbage. It could be trash. All right, what matters is the results. All right, if a seller has amazing strategies, but they're selling 5 units a day, well, I could care less what their strategies are. Right, I want to know what the sellers are doing who are just absolutely killing it. Okay, so like I would go in to collagen peptides, right? And I would see, let me go to here, collagen. Wow, we actually lasted 52 minutes without a collagen peptides reference. I'm sure John is disappointed here. All right, so I would go here and I wouldn't ask myself, hey, what is sports research sports research what's the question? Strategy, right? Or rank strategy. No, I don't care about that, because first of all, it would be really hard to know that unless I had a spy there, which we don't have spies in people's companies. But remember, Helium 10 can be used as almost like, a direct access as like a CPA, or almost like a personal spy. That's completely fine, because I can actually see where they are getting their sales from. Or not see, but I can have a good idea of where they're getting their sales from by analyzing which keywords they're on page one. So let's just say I want to look at one, I would copy this ASIN and I would put it in Cerebro. Now, I don't know what they did, right? I don't know what they did to get on page one on certain listings, but I don't care what they did, because I already have my own strategies. You might have your own strategies. What matters is where are they getting their sales from? So like, is there any keywords that have over 2,000 exact volume and they're ranked somewhere in the top 10 positions? That means that's where they're getting their sales from. Right here. 48. Oh my God. Every time I look at this, it seems like they get more and more. So this individual here has 48 keywords that they are ranked on the top 10 positions. How they got there, their strategy, I don't know. It'd be nice to know, but realistically, you have no idea what they did. All right. They could be doing something illegal. We don't know. What matters is that these are why they're selling 60,000 units a month. So the question is, how do you get to page one, position 1 through 10? All right. Not what your competitor did, but maybe you are ranked number 35 on this. How do you get to page one? That's what you need to worry about. And, there's different answers. There's PPC you can do. There's, product giveaways, launches, optimizing your listing, tons of stuff you can do, but just make sure you're asking the right question, Claudio, because there could be somebody who has garbage strategies, but he's just killing it with certain keywords, and you need to know that. So I hope that answered your question, Claudio. So go ahead.
I will add one thing here. It's like the fact that you understand these strategies and keyword search volume or how to rank just in general, you're so far ahead of the majority of the other sellers out there. You would be blown away how many sellers just aren't even aware of these different strategies or even tools that you can use, right? So it's why we see so many people selling on Amazon and doing well with only 3 or 4 pictures, or with a not really well built out listing. Maybe they established some real estate on Amazon before, but just the fact, Claudio, that you understand how to rank or how to aim for certain keywords, you're so much further ahead of other folks than you may think. So yeah, just a quick piece.
Thank you for that, Claudio, once again. So let me mark that as answered. And speaking of that, Rebecca asked, will our submitted questions that have not been answered on this live chat be answered somewhere else? Absolutely. We have a long list of all the questions. Anything that is asked at helium10.com/questions, we put on the list and we make sure to get to. That was where almost everything that was asked today was from. But if there's something here that we miss, we actually have one of our teammates go in after every episode. And even if you're watching this on the replay and you ask a question down here, they'll copy the question from here and put it to the list. And that's how we also know to get to it. So Rebecca, since you might have joined in late, so if you want to ask a question, go ahead right here, and then we'll try and get to it in the next episode. Daniel has another question here. Does not have a tool template to remove malicious upvotes on product listing. Yeah, there is no such thing that can do that, because if there was a such thing, that would be black hat, because we cannot control Amazon's back end. So the only way that you can deal with that is to try and open up cases and report people to Amazon, or if you can find out what Facebook groups might be doing this. But again, it really pains me to see when people are using this kind of terrible tactics. Guys, that's why Helium 10 is so cool. Other sellers, they have to resort to these crazy tactics because that's the only way that they can get ahead. But you guys can do it in a completely legal way to get to the top, just by making sure that you utilize the full Helium 10 suite of tools. All right. Daniel says, thanks for the vid. Rebecca says, superb. John likes the idea about that tool. Yeah, it would be a nice tool. You can click a button and you get 1,000 5-star reviews. That would be nice too, but it's just not realistic because Amazon does not let you guys, can't even speak, does not let people manipulate things like that.
Post that code up there, Bradley. Let's get out of here. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll be here. The next AMA is next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And what else? Or
actually, guys, make sure to check. There might be something going on Tuesday for us. So we might put the next broadcast at 3 p.m. Tuesday, and then 3 p.m. again on Thursday. So we might not have a morning broadcast next week. I just remembered that because this room might be in use. So just make sure to check your messenger bot, and then also check our notification at what time it is, so you're not waiting here for 5 hours for us. All right, guys, all 53 of you, Anka, Daniel, Jill, John, Rebecca, Karen Lee, thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Crazy Hat 11, 50% off. See you guys.